Hey guys, this is Callum from English Shooting, and with the nights getting shorter and light becoming more scarce in the evenings, thought I'd bring myself outside and start answering some of the questions that you guys asked me repeatedly. I know I was in a really good habit when I first started the channel of just rapid fire videos answering these questions, and I want to make sure I do more of that because again, this channel was started to make it as easy as possible for people to get into shooting within the UK, and by answering these questions it only makes it easier for you guys, which is what I'm all about. So the number one question that I get asked, and I think is asked by every first time shooter, is how long is it going to take? Now I know you've probably had this answer before, and I know it really does grate you, and it grated me when I would ask people, but how long's a piece of string? Unfortunately, that is the best answer because it really does depend. Now, you can break down this answer by where you live. I think is the number one deciding factor. Well, it is the number one deciding factor because obviously it's done by county basis. My shotgun and firearm certificate both took six months apiece, and that was sort of 4 or 5 years ago, and things haven't got any better. On the flip side, my friend Alex, who lives in Surrey, he can get a first time shotgun application in 2 weeks and variations in under 2 weeks. Again, flipping back, my friend John, he put in for a variation end of January, beginning of February, around February time I think maybe. He still hasn't had it back. So you're talking 6 months for a variation there, which is crazy. I can't sit here and say what every single county is going to do. The UK is too big for me to sit and do that. There are resources available, and I'm pretty sure there's a website that actually lists all the counties in sort of rank order. If I can find that link, I will put it in the description below and in the comments below for you guys to be able to get a rough idea of how your county is doing. But really, it can be anywhere between 2 weeks to 12 months. And I know that's crazy, and it's really off-putting. It really does fly by, and once you've got the certificates, you never really think about it again. You're just happy that you've got the certificates and you can go and buy what you want and then take up the sport with your own guns. A lot of people also ask, what can I do to speed it up? Well, I've had, I would say, a little bit of success in chasing my variation. You would have remembered like a year or so ago I'd put in a variation. Now I chased it. I was polite with the people on the phone, but I was chasing it. I was making it known that I was after my variation, that I thought that the time that they were taking was unreasonable, and obviously it was affecting my shooting. Now through my chasing I was able to get my variation done in 3 months. One of my friends put in their variation before me, didn't chase it as much as me, and then took 4 months and got it after me. So it was just because they obviously weren't chasing them and making a little bit of a nuisance of themselves, I would say. I think chasing it and staying on top of it is going to help you, but you have to have patience, and you definitely have to be polite, obviously. But I think staying on top of it and phoning up regularly, maybe once every couple of weeks, to see how it's doing isn't going to hurt anything. The number one thing you can do to speed everything up is make sure that it's all correct. Now, I would say to you, it's worth spending an extra week on the application form and showing it round all the people you know, and getting so many second opinions on it to make sure that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed, and everything is perfect, because that can be the biggest waste of time. When I did my shotgun application, because I was living in London, I actually sent it off to the Met because I was living in London. It took them a month to get it back to me to say, no, actually go to Hampshire. So I lost a month. So make sure you fill out the form neatly, because if it's illegible, they're just going to send it back. Make sure it's correct, make sure you've got passport style photos, and again, I would even say it's worth going and having them professionally done. I went somewhere in the middle of South Kensington, pretty much one of the most expensive places where you can go and get passport photos, and it cost me a tenner for 4. The other thing that also will make firearm certificates longer, and I've talked about it before, that if you're into sport shooting, not quarry and pest control and out in the fields and that sort of stuff, if you're a sports shooter, you have to be a member of a club. Now, being a full member of a club can take anywhere from a month to a year. With Imperial, where I first started shooting, their policy was 6-month probational period. So I had to wait 6 months before I could even think of applying for my certificate. So again, there's a lot of people going, well, you know, I want to get into shooting, I want to get an FAC, or what should I be doing? Get to a club. That's literally, if it's FAC that you're interested in, get down a club and join. Unfortunately, I can't give you guys a direct answer to the question of how long it would take. I can give you a bracket anywhere between 2 weeks to 12 months, but really it does depend on where you're living. I would talk to local shooters down your club about their experiences and how things are going in your county, and that will give you a really good gauge of how long things are taking. But there you go, guys. I hope the video was useful and maybe gave you a little bit of an insight to how long it's going to take. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful, and as always, I hope to see you soon. It's just absolutely incredible, and it takes it all day long. Now, you will know that this gun is